Welcome to the Rangers Journey.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to tonight's post-match Hibs game. My name is Chris. I will be your host for the next half hour or so. And with me tonight is Ross. Ross, how are you feeling after that game tonight, mate?
Relieved, and weird to day before we come on. Weirdly, found it weirdly refreshing that we were able to kind of have a scrappy performance and see out a 1-0 win. Because it's been too long since we've been able to. I don't think there's any doubt that under the previous manager we wouldn't have come away with a win there.
Absolutely. Totally agree, mate. Totally agree. I was just, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. First and foremost, thank you to our sponsors of the podcast, Blue Whales, Puerto del Carmen, Lanzarote. We really appreciate it. And thank you all for tuning in. The numbers are going up as we speak, so it's great to have you all here. It's great to be here and talking about a post-match win. It's great to see Rangers back again and really showing two sides of us tonight, Ross. I thought I'm going to try and explain this my best way possible, and I'm hoping people will understand where I'm coming from. I thought Rangers were, on one hand, fantastic. I thought they looked really compact, really strong. I didn't think we looked too troubled too much. But then, on the other hand, I thought we were wasteful. We didn't get a second gear at some occasions, and it just felt a really strange performance at certain points. But in saying all that, you would take 1-0 before the start of the game, and you would, as Danny Rowe's been saying, it's all about winning, and that's what we've done tonight. Does that kind of sum up for you, Ross, how you felt we were tonight?
Yeah, pretty much. I thought we started well. Obviously, we got the goal, which was a really good goal, really good finish. And I wonder if we will kind of motor on here and keep going for this. We didn't really, but as you said, Hibs never really troubled us too much. And one thing you can tell right away is Danny Rowe has made us a lot more solid, even in the short time he's been here at this point. It's obviously something he's noticed when he's come in, and he's went about fixing it right away, and it seems to be working, because even I know we conceded on Sunday against Kilmarnock, but we were still a lot more solid, and again tonight we were a lot, like you say, a lot more compact and a lot more solid.
Just somebody put a comment on saying it's the perfect sign that we have the right manager at long last, and I couldn't agree more. I think looking at where we were tonight, that's a game that you just, Ross. I said it, I think, a few weeks ago in the podcast. I got to the point where I was watching Rangers and there was just no emotion at certain points. Tonight, the missus is on looking at buying a new floor, because I think I've wore out the floor, walking up and down in the hall, walking up and down the carpet. It was one of those ones where I just couldn't sit down, because you knew what was coming. We knew something was going to happen. We knew there was going to be a chance that it was going to come for Hibs, and obviously it did. And Butland, to be fair, he's had his critics. He's had his issue on Saturday. What's your thoughts on Butland after that and his save tonight, mate?
I think big players come up with big moments, and that was without question a big moment. I think I don't even think it's arguable, to be honest, that Jack Butland's been the player of the year this year, even under Russell Martin, when we were conceding goal after goal. Very few, if any, were down to him. He's actually saved his points. I've stopped us conceding so many goals and losing so many points. And tonight only highlighted that he's back to his best. I think after last season, maybe around about the time Barry came in, he wasn't in top form, unlike his first season, but he seems to be getting back to that, and that was a huge moment, and it turned up.
Yeah. Dino, our Dino, as you said, could be a monumental save in the outcome of our season. Totally agree with him on that. I think it was a tremendous save, and it was one that, why we're not surprised he makes these type of saves, because he pulls us out the bag. Sometimes, obviously, has his mistake on Saturday, and he stepped in as the hero again tonight. Ross, if I can, though, I would like to just maybe go back to the start of the game. So that lineup comes out tonight from Danny Rowe, and you're thinking, what is going on? He's let Tav stay on the bench. He's dropped Diomande, who I thought had a fantastic game on Saturday. Asgard as well, I thought was coming on the game. He's left on the bench. Gassama, who I want to talk about, and I'll come back to in a wee second. You're looking at that and you're thinking it's either a risky lineup or it's going to be a genius lineup, and obviously it's turned out to be a genius one. But what was your overall thoughts at the start of it, mate, in terms of when you seen that coming through?
Yeah, same as you. I was actually in my group chat with my mates, and one of them actually said this is either going to be genius or a nightmare. It's not, there'll be no in between. I was looking at. I don't think in group chats I've ever seen the numbers 3, 4, 1, and 2 so many times. With people trying to guess what that formation and lineup was,
Yeah.
there was just so many different ways you could have looked at it. But I
Yeah.
was surprised. I thought he'd have went similar to how he went, like shape wise and set up information, but have not starting surprised me. It did surprise me. And I didn't think it would be long before he was introduced, and obviously that was the case. But I was when I seen the team, I was surprised. I was intrigued. Is probably the word. I was looking forward to seeing how it played out and how we were set up and how it would be executed.
Yeah, absolutely. I was worried at the start, Ross. I thought Giga giving away a corner within the first 90 seconds. I thought that was going to set his game up. But fair play to the big lad. I thought he was colossal at times for us, winning balls in the air, stepping into tackles. I thought he just grew as the game got on. Would you be the same boat as that, or did you think he was going to be a bit of a nightmare show as what he's been recently?
No, I just took the words out of my mouth there. I was going to say, I think he really grew into the game, and I think towards the end, it was that before we got that last period of the game, and we were under a lot of pressure. He actually started to stole it. If that's the right word. He did. I thought it looked quite comfortable, but you're right. The first minute or two when he conceded that corner, I was like, oh, is this going to be one of the nights we look nervous already? But he did redeem himself. He did grow into the game, and he looked pretty assured. I thought I was after what you said it's not been the best start to his Rangers career. I think that the first couple of games he was decent, put in a few decent performances, but then he's really dropped off to the extent he's been out the team. But he was back tonight, and yeah, no, I don't think he put a foot wrong other than conceding that corner the first minute.
I did, honestly, Ross. I looked at that and I thought to myself, well, we're in for it tonight, is what I thought. And actually, same again, group chats, I put onto one of the group chats to my pals to say it's going to be one of those ones where we could get absolutely a doing, or we could sneak this. And obviously, we've sneaked it, we've got the 1-0 in the end. But I think looking at some players, I'd like to pick out some players if I can. Giga obviously was mentioned. One of the ones I'd like to mention is his tackle. I think it was in the first half. Guy was running through. I can't remember the Hibs player was running through, but Giga is 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, and Giga's put a tackle in. Thought that was sensational. Could have given away a penalty or anything at that point, and he put a fantastic tackle in. The other one, though, I thought for me, who had a great game tonight was Makoma. I know he get taken off and things, and they get the booking, but I thought that boy was terrific down that left hand side, and Nicky Cadden obviously gets booked and gets taken off, obviously after 20 minutes or so. And that was all down to Makoma, I thought. And I thought, looking at that boy, he really shone tonight and stood up and showed probably why Rangers took him to the club, because on that left-hand side, I think McFadden said it in the commentary, he looked much more assured playing that one-up position rather than playing at left back. Is that a platform for him now, do you think, to kick on and see where he really ends up for Rangers?
Yeah, I think he was really good tonight. I think he ran Cadden ragged, to be honest. And I knew during the game when Ian Crocker said Hibs are going to make a change right away, I went, it's going to be Cadden because McGoma's got him toast. And he was booked. I think if Cadden had stayed on, McGoma was getting that much joy down that left-hand side. He would have probably get sent off. But yeah, no, I was really impressed with him tonight. And I think he's been quite hit and miss, if I'm honest. There's some games I thought he looks quite good, and then other games I look and I go, he looks like he's maybe a wee bit too inexperienced to be the first choice left back in this Rangers team. But tonight he done really well, and like you say, the only reason he got taken off is because of the booking. I think it was nothing to do with performance. I think I said to you guys in the chat, between him and Conor Barron, who I'm sure will come on today too, were the standouts for me, both of the excellent teams.
Yeah, I absolutely agree, Ross. I thought Makoma, I just wanted to praise him for a young boy going to Easter Road. It's not easy, especially when he's had some criticism, and I thought he'd done well. And look, the other one on the other side, when you look at Aarons, I didn't think Aarons was brilliant. I didn't think he'd done anything exceptional, but I thought he was steady in the game, and that was again, a performance that you maybe not expect from him. But to be fair to him, he done well again when he moved to the left-hand side when Tav came on and he switches over and he done okay. But I think it was good for us to see that progression from those guys because they've came in for a lot of criticism from ourselves on this pier and also from Rangers fans alike, yeah?
Yeah, I think of Max Adams is the prime example of that. I think he's had a torrid time, and I think it's shown in his performances and even his demeanour. He just looks like a guy that's low in confidence. It looks like a guy that, for want of a better phrase, looks scared at times. Even tonight, I thought he just sort of, when I seen him in the tunnel, I just thought he just looked like a lost wee boy at times. But it wasn't like he wasn't great. But not the day of a nightmare. It was steady. I would have given probably a 5 or 6 out of 10. I thought it was steady. Didn't do anything spectacular, but didn't do anything too damaging. But hopefully that helps him as well. Being part of the team that's been able to grind out a good win at a notoriously difficult place to go after the start we've had. Hopefully he's another one that can grow for that, and it gives him confidence, and maybe hopefully he can start to contribute a wee bit more going forward.
Absolutely. And I think as well, I know we're going through a few of the players, but I just want to touch on your point there, Ross. Grinding out a result at Easter Road is a hard thing to do. Not a lot of teams do it. Hibs have been playing well recently. I would have said, if you asked me, Hibs, Brann, that we played last week, who's the better side, I would have been saying Hibs all day long, but we made Brann look like Barcelona last week, and obviously Hibs we've made them look like what they really are tonight, which is good on some occasions. Looking at the midfield, just touch on two in the midfield. First of all, I want to get the negative out of the way, and I think the negative for me at the moment, Ross, and I'd like to see your point in this, and if anyone wants to comment on this, I'd like to see their comments as well. What's happened to Nico Raskin in the last 2 games? Now, maybe not even just the last 2 games, maybe the last 3 or 4 games, and it's maybe been a build-up to it, but I just think Nico has went so far off the pace, it's unbelievable, and the only thing I kept seeing him doing tonight was either passing the ball at the park or putting it 5 yards past somebody. And what's happening there, do you think? Is it maybe his mindset is not here at Rangers at the moment because he knows what's happening, end of season contract and all that sort of thing? Or is it just the change that's happened? What's your take on Raskin at the moment?
I'm hoping it's just a blip, but I think it is inarguable that he's really went off the boil recently. I think when that whole thing with Martin happened and Russell Martin took him out of the team, he came back against Hibs in the Cup, scored the opening goal, was man of the match. And at that point, everybody, myself included, was going, right, good, Nico's back. He's going to kick on now and be the kind of focal point of the team. But I don't know what it is. It's just it seems to have went right off the boil. I mean, it's not even a game or two. I would say it's probably 5 or 6 games maybe that he's. I've went here. Not hitting the standards that we can, and then it's frustrating as well because within that period of him not playing well, he goes away with Belgium, plays twice, gets man of the match twice, and everybody raves about him twice, and you're like, well, where's that been with us? So I don't know if his head's been turned or if it's the attention's went his head. I don't know, but as I'd say, in a night of a lot of positives, I'm sure we'll come to. He's the one negative. His performance as of late has been the negative, and it's a bit of a concern because on games like Sunday we're going to need people like him to be in top form to try and kind of dominate the middle of that park. So here's hoping that's him got all the bad performances out of his system now and he's ready to go, but it is a concern.
Aye, definitely. And look, before we go on to the positives of the players, there's one last one I just want to cover off, and I said it earlier on, is I want to try and get these ones out of the way, the negative mate, so we can talk about all the good positives. But the one negative for me, and I think this guy has really been underwhelming the last few weeks. For me, Gassama, I don't know what you think. I don't know what the viewers will think at the moment, but he came on there the night and he looked like Bambi on ice. He looked to have been with the right football boots on. He couldn't hold the ball up. There was a chance right in the last minute where he's through, and however he managed to mess that up. But it's not just tonight, Ross. For me, I've been watching this guy over the last, I'd probably say 5-6 games or so, and I don't see what the big rave is about. Maybe the first couple of games, but I'm genuinely struggling with the last few games. And again, I'm hoping it's a similar with asking that maybe he's just going through a little bit of dip in form. But what's your thinking on Gassama? And Does it worry you to see the level of performance he put in compared to what he did at the start of the season, mate?
Yeah, I do think the past handful of weeks, maybe the past month, it's as though he's kind of been on the periphery. He's not been as involved as I would like him to be. Quite often at the start, obviously, it was the only bright spot at the start of the season under Russell Martin. Whenever he would get the ball, you would kind of edge your seat, right? You might maybe do something there. That seems to have fell away. Not to say he's not a good player. He obviously is really talented. And again, like you say, hopefully similar to Raskin, and it's just a wee bit of bad form he's going through. But I agree with it tonight when it came on, and it was like, what is he doing? everything he tried failed. Nothing was coming off for him. That one when he was through, you'd have thought maybe the start of the season had probably buried that. But yeah, he's one that's probably similar to Raskin in the fact of the performance. It's just not hitting the height. You know, he's kind of had the two of them have been kind of off the boil recently. But hopefully they can play themselves out of that. It's a common thing with wingers as well. But wingers do go through. They are very hit and miss. But I think when Gassama's good, he's really good. I just hope we start to get to see that a wee bit more consistently.
Definitely. And look, I don't want anyone to think I'm bashing the guy or anything at all. Similarly, asking, I love the two players. I think they're fantastic players, but I just feel as if they're not given everything at the moment for whatever reason, and it could be anything that's causing it. But tonight was a tough one. I thought Gassama, I thought he could have been better tonight. Someone's just put a comment in there, and I think this is, let's go on to the good points now. The lad Moore, Mikey Moore, worked his socks off. I thought he was hard working without doing anything special. So we'll give him a shout out tonight as well. But look, for me, and I think we'll come on to this guy now before we move on. Connor Barron, what a player tonight. I thought he controlled the show. I thought in the middle, I got a bit nervous, Ross, when he got booked. I'm not going to lie, because you know he likes to fly into tackles and things. Yes, the one negative is the penalty, and he's giving away the penalty. But you could lay the blame at Tabsdore for the slip as well that comes with that as well. But talk me through your thoughts on Connor Barron. Is he maybe one that deserves at the minute to start ahead of Raskin and play in that position? Is that his position, do you think, Ross? Or do you think Raskin and Barron play well together? What's your overall thoughts on him?
I don't know about maybe dropping Raskin in place of Barron, but I think Barron has definitely got one of the midfield shots just now, based on recent performances. And tonight, I thought it was excellent. He was everywhere. He was non-stop, constantly trying to drive us forward. He didn't give Hibs a minute. I thought it was actually, you could tell with some of the players that they'd been given specific roles and responsibilities for that role, and you could tell what Barron's was, and it was executed perfectly. I thought I would give him man of the match, because I'd say that it was between him and Magova. Magova came off, so I would give it to Barron. I thought he was excellent, and I would have him in the team on Sunday now.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought Connor Barron from start to finish was superb, and look, not even just tonight, even on Saturday. I thought when he came on and he was on Saturday, I thought he played really well. I was surprised to see Diamonde not in the team today, but he's not been in other than Saturday he's been out injured and things. So obviously you can maybe understand that change. And as Danny said at the start of the game, he was using the squad because we've got a lot of games coming up. So it was a good move, I think, to bring Barron in tonight. I hope he starts on Sunday. I'm the same as you. I thought he done really well. Moore, as much as I thought he'd done really well, I just think there's still something maybe missing there. Does he maybe need a goal to get that out the way? Maybe that needs to bring his confidence up. I said, Ross, a few months back when we heard this guy was coming, I thought Mikey Moore was a fantastic player for Spurs when I seen him last season. Do you think he could just be one of those players where the Scottish League just doesn't suit him in terms of the way the physicality is? Or is it just a young boy coming up, still to find his feet, and there's plenty more to come from him, do you think?
I hope it's the latter, obviously, and I was the same as you. I heard we were linked to him. I was shocked that we were able to get. I know it's only a loan signing and he is young, but you've heard how much Spurs fans rave about him. I was surprised, but obviously really happy that we've got him. And again, he's another one that's, I don't know if it was the way Russell Martin played or the way he managed them, but you could tell he wasn't enjoying his football either. He has started to get slightly better, but you're right, there is more to come. Tonight, I thought he was hard-working and effective. Again, I think he had a certain job to do. I think he'd done it and carried it out. But he was brought here to be a kind of a flair player and have a bit of creative spark. We've yet to see that, but ideally, again, the more the team grow in confidence, start picking up wins, get more used to playing in Danny Rose's system under his management, hopefully that starts to be allowed to come out, and we can start to see that, because I do think he's a talented player, and I think he will go far in the game, but he's just, the way it's been so far, and the whole the fans on on at the board and stuff, I don't think that's really helped on a lot of these young players. I think they've kind of come in and went, what is this? But hopefully that all starts to die down now, results pick up, and he can start to show us how good he is, because the talent is there, it's clear, it's there.
Yeah. Two boys up front, first half. I'll start with Danilo. 2 goals, 2 games. His confidence must be sky high. I think Sky had put the comment, 2 shots on target in the last 2 games, and he scored both goals. So can't ask for any more than that. Good finish from Danilo, and quietly effective, would you say, Ross, through the game, other than obviously the goal that he scored?
Yeah, I thought, again, he worked hard, worked to defence, and but I think he had a good game again. He wasn't sparkly, wasn't a 9 or 10 out of 10, but he played well in that finish. That was an excellent finish. He's obviously scored the goal that's won the game, so he deserves credit for that, and it was a great finish. I thought his goal on Sunday as well was just a header for a few yards out, but I thought that was a great finish as well. 2 very different goals, but both perfectly executed shots, well, both shot and a header. But that goal was excellent tonight. It was a really good finish, and he seems to be enjoying life under Danny Rose. So again, hopefully that continues. Again, he's another one that I think I would probably have him start on Sunday, which is something I would, if you'd asked me 3 months ago, I'd never have said that. But he's deserved it. 2 games, 2 shots on target, 2 goals. He's got to start.
He came out, Ross, I think midweek, and he'd done an interview with Sky ahead of the game, and said he was hurt and disappointed about being dropped from the squad by Russell Martin. And I think one of the things that fans probably don't realise was that's what's happened. He has been dropped, even though if you look at the subs bench, he was included most weeks. He wasn't getting on, and you start to wonder, if you're needing a goal, you're needing some. Why is he not getting on? And I think that was telling the fact that he said he was dropped by Russell Martin, which hurt him. So that was an interesting one. And I think, let's be honest, when you obviously get in, you bring Chermiti in, you maybe question, is Danilo got a future there? But I think he's answered some critics. I think my brother-in-law texted me during the game, and he says, right now, going forward, Rangers 2 up front all the time, right? And I thought Danilo with Chermiti up front tonight, I thought they looked promising. I thought obviously they need a wee bit more time together, and it's that big guy, little guy combo I thought could work pretty well. Would you agree with the 2 up front thing? Is that something that, because the reason I'm saying this, the 2 up front, we don't normally see it, Ross. It's something we've always been used to, the 1 up top with the 2 wide men. This time we're seeing 1 up top with 1 playing off, and it's then going to the 2. Is that something you think Rangers should be going forward with now, or do you prefer the traditional, I say traditional, what we've had, which is the 1 up top with the 2 wide men? What's your thoughts, mate?
Well, obviously we went to 2 up front Saturday, Sunday as well. We've done that twice, we've had 2 wins. And in terms of going back to Danilo, if you remember rightly, last season there was this, maybe was it around about Christmas last year, Danilo was back in the team under Philip Clement, and I think, did he go with 2 up front? I think he played it was just off Bessers, or just off Agalan, and he had a good goal, so scored in an Old Firm game. I remember him scoring at St Mirren. He scored a few goals, so maybe Danilo's the type of striker who does benefit for that, and you do see the best of him, because I felt when he has played in the more traditional 4-3-3 with 2 wide men, he's not as involved. His goal scoring record's not as great. He doesn't get as many chances, but maybe that's the way maybe that suits him better. And if it does, then that's the way we're going to play. Then he's got a case for being a big part of the plans going forward.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's turn our attention to our big 8, 9 or 10 million pound striker, whatever number we want to throw at him this week. But gets his goal in the weekend, had a good cameo appearance when he came on, done well. What was your thoughts? That was his first league start tonight. What was your thoughts on how he played that in terms of hold-up play, linking others in? Could have done better? Was it what you're expecting? What was your overall on him tonight, mate?
I thought he was pretty poor, if I'm honest. I thought on Sunday when he came on, it was only a cameo, like you say, but it was good. His hold-up play, he
Mhm.
linked up well. The strikers brought others into play. He got his goal, bit of fortune, but who cares? It was a goal. He needed it. He got it. So I was saying he should start tonight. I would have started him, but I don't know. I think he's still, the jury is well and truly out. Still, I don't think he done himself any favours tonight. Obviously, he got the assist
Yeah.
for Danilo's goal, but other than that, I
Mhm.
think sometimes it can be quite slow for a guy as big and as physical as he is. He's not as involved as I'd like him to be. I know I just said that his cameo on Sunday, his hold up play was good, but that's the only
Mhm.
time it's been good. They played
Aye.
and against Bran on Thursday, and I said the same. I came on the post match for after that.
Mhm.
Obviously, I was a lot angrier then than I'm now, but I said the same thing. His hold up play is just not what I would expect to be for somebody of that build and physical presence and that price tag. But
Yeah.
again, he's young. Hopefully, he comes good and we see more like what we've got from him on Sunday.
Yeah. Definitely. I think so as well, mate. I was okay with him. I wasn't too pleased. I wasn't disappointed. It was just meh, one of those ones tonight for him.
Mhm.
But I think going forward, we need to see more from him. And I think hopefully he can build on Sunday and then obviously a positive result again tonight. Um, Look, we've been in for 26 minutes, Ross, and we've touched a lot of the players and the performance. And I think it's good that we touched on the players because we've been critical of them, and quite rightly so, over the last few weeks and months. So it's good to maybe just have that conversation and talk through some of the good performances we're seeing. Look, that's two post match now. Obviously Sunday and then tonight we're having a good result. Well, let's hopefully keep the momentum going next week. I just want to maybe spend 5 minutes or so touching on Danny Rowe, but before I do that, I just want to say thanks to everyone that's tuning in. Thanks for your likes. Please hit that subscribe button. Please keep liking, sharing the page and the videos. It helps the page massively. If you like what you're seeing, keep hitting like and subscribe, guys. We really do appreciate it. We did have a new member, James Murray, new member today. So I don't know if you're watching, James, but thank you for your membership. We absolutely appreciate it from everyone here at the Rangers Journal. Thank you, mate. It's greatly appreciated. Ross, let's talk Danny Rowe for the next 5 minutes or so. Came in, first game against Bran. I don't think anybody could have expected much from him. He's maybe had 24 hours with the players, maximum one training session. We've seen obviously Sunday wasn't the greatest performance, but it certainly was an uplift in where we've been. And then again tonight, not a great performance, but we get the win. We get the 3 points at a really tough, difficult venue. We look at the squads, and I think they were saying Sky Sports, they look really compact, they look organised, and they look like a team that's playing for each other again. Is this the Danny Rowe effect? Is this something that's just come in and it's the new manager bounce? What do you think this could be? And really, is this what you expected from a Danny Rowe side in terms of what you've seen in the last couple of games?
Well, I think the upturn in results is definitely because of him. I mean, I think
Mhm.
he's won twice as many games as Russell Martin did in 4 days than Russell Martin did in 9 rounds of fixtures or 8 rounds of fixtures, however long it was. So I think he's definitely come in and made a difference. It's still early days. I'm not going to say he's going to be the next coming of Walter Smith, but the early signs are good. He's come in. He identified right away. He said that his first presser, we need to start winning games. Doesn't matter about style or performance levels. We need to just start racking up win after win. And to be fair to him, he's come in brand, like you say, that wasn't on
Mhm.
him. That was a shambles. He was only in a day. But Sunday and tonight, 2 wins. They weren't great performances. Kilmarnock, we were okay, and against Kilmarnock, it was nothing special. But again, we were able to see it over the line. Ended up running out convincing 3-1 winners. And tonight we weren't as convincing, but we definitely seen it over the line, and we had to scrap and fight for everything, and we done it. And it's not something we would. I mean, it's just we just wouldn't have at the start of the season. We
Mhm.
wouldn't have seen that out. So he's definitely come in and addressed that, and we're seeing the benefits. And again, hopefully that keeps up. And I think I'd said to you in the chat during the game, we can worry about level of performances down the line. See, once we've mastered winning again and we're back into the habit of routinely beating these teams, then we can start maybe looking a bit deeper into performances and style of play and stuff. But for now, He just needs to put a team on the park, set up to be organised, compact, and get wins. And he's done that. He's 2 out of 2 so far. So, and here's, I think we'll be even 100 times happier if it's 3 out of 3 come Sunday.
And I think, Ross, it did feel like a Rangers performance of old. And look, I'm not in any way, shape, or form saying he's Walter Smith-esque, but it felt like a Walter Smith performance for me. That's what it felt like. You're watching it, you know something's going to happen, you know that they're going to get a chance at some point. You then think to yourself, how are we going to cope with that? And we cope with it. And that, if you look back 15, 20 years, that's what normally happened in a away game. Rangers had it easy. The other team would come into it. They would get a chance. It would be squeaky bum time. And then before you know it, again, we're in that situation. We're talking about the win at the end of it. And again, that's what it felt like. It felt good to be back, looking at that and thinking this is a really good victory. And I think, as I said, for me personally, that feeling tonight that we've had around the nervousness and want to make sure we get this over the line, that's not been there for the last 6, 7, 8 weeks or so, because I felt, and I'm probably a lot of Rangers fans, same as yourself, Ross, but I felt a wee bit detached with performance a little bit and what the players were trying to do. Tonight, I think you could see what the players were trying to do. I think you could see they were working for each other, they were working hard. Okay, maybe they didn't get it right in every aspect of it, but that was a proper Rangers away performance, I thought, tonight, which was good. And as you said, it's not Walter Smith-esque. It's not Walter Smith's performance, but it's a Walter Smith-esque performance, I think, is the main thing. And it was great to see that from Danny tonight, because he set them up to be really solid. And look, Sunday, I think we need to do something different, Ross. I think we need to come and be more on the front foot. I think we need to open up a wee bit more, and it's going to be interesting how we do that, because tonight you were very compact, you were very making sure they weren't getting in behind. Sunday's a totally different game when it comes to that. So maybe that's where we're going to see a different dynamic to Danny's team, do you think?
Yeah, I think there will be changing Sunday. I would bring in, probably won't be popular, but I would bring in Diamande for Sunday, because I think he normally shines in these games. I would play him alongside Barron in the middle, and Raskin. So, yeah, I think we do need to change it up. But again, that's something else. I think Danny, see this when he came in, a lot of criticism labelled at him was he can only play the one system. He's just going to be a repeat of the last guy. I think tonight he proved he's not. He can change it up. He has a preferred style that he likes and he wants to play, but he can change it up depending on the opponent, depending on the situation that we're facing, of where we are in the set. But even tonight, he was changing it in game. There was a change. There was a change to the shape, like throughout the course of the game, depending on whether we were applying pressure or under pressure. And so he's proved he can be basically a roundabout way. What I'm trying to say is he's proved he can be pragmatic. So I think the potential was there to have a different setup on Sunday. And you're right. I think we need to change it up on Sunday, and I think we will. But the way it's going so far, it looks like we can trust that he seems early again, not getting carried away. Early days, it looks like he knows what he's doing. It looks like he can set up a team and adjust it and change it when necessary.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think Rangers fans are now starting to see what Danny Rowe team can bring, and I think that's good. It's obviously it's early days, 2 games in that sense, but look, it's 2 games that if you'd asked us 3-4 weeks ago, would we have potentially won? Would we have beat Kilmarnock? Would we have beat Hibs? There was no guarantee that was happening. I want to ask you a question, Ross, because for me, I wouldn't ever say the title race was done at any point. And when you talk about Rangers, you should always be talking about Rangers being in a title race, as far as I'm concerned. I know the gap's quite big at the top. Hearts have went away tonight to St Mirren. They've drawn, I believe, 2 each, I think it was. I'm hoping that was the final score. The gap's closed with the win. Does that mean that there's a chance there still, Rangers back in the title race? Or do you think that's too far away? What's your thoughts on the points gap at the moment?
It'll be difficult, but I don't think we're completely out there. I would rather be, I don't know if this will make sense, but I would rather be 11 points behind Hearts than 11 points behind Celtic. If that makes sense, I feel Hearts are a lot more catchable than they would be if they were so far ahead. And when it comes to Celtic, it's only 5 points, so I think they are catchable. Again, it won't be easy, but I think they're catchable, and with Hearts short on points tonight, if they can start to maybe more draws start to kind of creep in with Hearts, then I would fancy it, but it's going to be very, very tough. I think we've gave Danny Rowe a mountain to climb with shambolic start we had. I think it's still been very fair if we come in and they have to try and do this. I don't think anyone's going to be blaming Danny Rowe if we don't win the league. But it's not completely out of the question. As I say, I think Celtic are 5 points is nothing to and they are obviously they're a riot now, so they are catchable. And Hearts drawing points and us picking up 3 tonight was a biggie. I think that's that they had to. I said on Twitter before the game, for us to have any chance, we need to go here and get 3 points, and we've done it. So hopefully it does start a title race, and we can start to claw some of that back.
Ross, I see what you said there. I think I couldn't agree more, Ross, because even on Sunday, sitting with a few of the fans at Ibrox, one of the things we said that a lot of the boys were saying to each other was getting a win and seeing what happens in that other game was going to be crucial for Rangers. Regardless of what happened in the other game, you had to win on Sunday, which we did. And then obviously winning tonight again and one of the other two dropping is absolutely helped in terms of them dropping points. But again, I don't want to get carried away because we've got a lot coming up, got a lot of hard games coming up. But I think when you look at our next few fixtures, Dundee, Falkirk are in that mix as well. You've got a couple of games there on paper you should be saying Rangers should be winning. And maybe that's a wee bit of time we can build up a bit of momentum. I know we've got 2 tough games in between with Roma and the League Cup semi-final on Sunday. But is this now a chance for Rangers to try and put some more points on the board and go in that wee run and start getting back to winning ways again, do you think, over the next few games?
Yeah, so Dundee away, and then I think in November we're at home to both Falkirk and Livingston, so
that's right, yeah.
Right away, I know Celtic get beat off Dundee a couple of weeks ago. We dropped points to Dundee at the start of the season. We've dropped points to Falkirk as well. But on pay, you've got to think if we're going to start to rack up wins and build this momentum, that should be there should be no excuses for not getting 9 points for that. And if we can do that, we'll be in. The league table will look a lot healthier. Not as healthy as we want it to be, but it'll look a lot better than it does currently. And hopefully, while we are doing that and picking up these wins and hopefully going on a run, the other two start to take points, hopefully off each other and against other teams.
Yeah, absolutely. Ross, look, we've been on just 40 minutes or so now, a wee bit longer than a normal post-match. Comments have been fantastic. I see a lot of banter going on between a few people in the comments at the moment, which looks tremendous. The viewership has been fantastic. Again, folks can ask if you can like, subscribe and share as much as you can. It certainly helps the page. Another quick shout out to our sponsors, Bluebells, Puerto del Carmen Lanzarote. We absolutely appreciate the support you've given. So thank you on that. Ross, if I can, just to sum up for Rangers at the moment, we played really well tonight at certain stages. We didn't get a second gear, third gear, maybe in certain other stages as well. But good to get the win, good to get the 3 points, and we move on and see what Sunday brings. Talk about Sunday. Give us a quick score prediction if you can, Ross. I don't know if you're on between now and Sunday in any podcast. I just want to give you the opportunity to put your early score prediction out there for Sunday, please, mate.
I'll go 2-1 to us.
2-1 to us, you think? Is that where you're at with it?
Yeah.
I think, see, to be honest, I think we will. I'm looking forward to seeing where we're at and seeing what goes on. I think, look, for me, I'm just getting some messages through about obviously the post match and things like that. One thing I did want to talk about, Ross, before we go and hopefully you all don't mind us staying on for a wee bit longer to talk about this. One thing I seen tonight from Rangers, Ross, and I've not seen this in a long time. I've had a fight from Rangers tonight, and they looked a wee bit more, what's the word, aggressive in their play. And you've seen it with Raskin. I know we talked with Raskin, though maybe not having his best game. Maybe the best thing he did tonight was start fights around the pitch, but I just felt that Rangers looked a wee bit more aggressive tonight. They felt as if they were fighting for each other a little bit more, and you've seen that obviously with the Raskin situation. I think with 5 minutes to go, there was a bit of a skirmish in the middle, and then after the game, there's obviously been some words said and things like that, and it was good to see. You don't want to see fights. I'm not saying it's good to see those fights, but it was good to see the passion from Rangers, and it was good to see them not taking any nonsense at that moment in time. So was that good to see coming back, Ross? Is that something you think Rangers have missed?
Yeah, I've been a big critic of that for probably post Steven Gerrard. I think as a squad of players, I think we're too nice. I don't think we do have enough people that are willing to fight and show that aggression. I think we're kind of come across as too nice and too soft at times, and it does help. It does to be successful, especially in a successful Rangers team. If you look at the historic over the years, or the successful teams we've had, we've always had aggressive fighters and people that are willing to go the extra mile for their teammates and stuff. That's what I think has been missing, and it showed it's been a big criticism of mine towards the squad over the past handful of seasons, because it's been sorely lacking. And tonight I did see it, and I think that played a part in seeing the game out, because everybody, it was evident everybody wanted it, everybody wanted to fight for each other to help see us over the line, and that gave us the extra percentage to go and do it. As I say, I keep harping back to it. At the start of the season, we were not winning that game tonight, and we weren't showing any sort of fight or desire either. So it was evident tonight, and it's a positive for me, because I think it's needed to be successful with Rangers. We're going to need it. Not everybody. You need different characters, but you need leaders, you need fighters, and you need guys that are willing to stand up in the county. So hopefully that's something Danny Rowe can bring as well, because it has been lacking recently.
Absolutely. Ross, as with live podcasts, anything can happen. I've got a feeling we're going to get a wee special guest coming on in a wee minute, so I'm going to keep it going for a few more minutes to give him the opportunity. But our good man Scotty might turn up in a few minutes, is what I think might happen. So if you're okay, Ross, to keep going at the moment,
That's fine, mate.
I think we can keep it going, but we might get a wee visitor, so we'll see how that goes, and if he comes in, we'll bring him in. Look, there's plenty to talk about, so hopefully everyone watching wants to stick around. We could sit here for weeks and talk, so let's keep it going and keep the conversation going at the moment. I would love to see in the comments, guys, for the comments you're putting in. I would like to see what your thoughts are for Sunday and what our score prediction would be, and we'll get some score predictions put up. And I would also ask a question to you as well. Who does it start up front on Sunday? Who's the striker is what I want to see some comments. So if you can, guys, with your comments, get the comments in, and we'll cover a few of them off if we can. Ross, one thing that really disappointed me tonight, and I'm talking about this as Scottish football as a whole, right? I didn't realise tonight Rangers allocation had been cut, and I seen some pictures on social media before the game, and I seen that a lot of fans were over on the left-hand side of the stand when you're in the stand on that left-hand side, and I just maybe thought that's where they were. And it was only when I watched the game and I seen the attendance, I thought, wow, we've got that corner stand. I don't know how much fans we had, 500-600 maybe at most. I don't know what the number was, but I'm just really disappointed with it, purely from the fact, Ross, that you look at that stadium tonight, and I'd probably say, I don't know what their final attendance was, but I'd probably say it was maybe half full at most, maybe 3/4 full. One thing I'm disappointed in is teams and how they keep saying they want to play up for their own fans and they want to put their own fans first. But we could easily have sold that stand 2 or 3 times over tonight, Rangers. And I mean the whole stands. And I just think to myself, one, it's a crying shame for Scottish football because you don't have full stadiums and on the TV, especially for live games. But you just think from a football club's point of view, it's like someone like Hibs, that's a big money earner for them, for Rangers coming to town and having that stand. What's your thoughts on this whole third of a stand scenario? I know Hearts do it as well, but what's your overall thought on it, Ross? Because I'm sitting there scratching my head and thinking to myself, what is going on with these clubs? What is it they're seeing that we can't see? And is the blueprint not good enough anymore, do you think, for them?
Yeah, I think you touched on Hearts there as well. I was going to say, I think it's became a bit of a trend in Scottish football to cut allocations, and I know people would look to us cutting Celtic's allocation for Old Firm games, but we can back that up because we can sell out Ibrox with our Rangers fans for Old Firm games, so we don't really need them. So we're in a position where we can do what we want with our allocation. Other clubs in Scotland like Hibs tonight, I think the term Scottish football's been hating itself to death for decades, and I think it's never run truer than examples like tonight. They're bringing in less money just to say they gave Rangers a lower allocation, and if everybody, it became a trend, everybody started to do it. I know Hearts do it, and they can probably back it up this season because they're doing well. But if Hearts were to fall back into mid-table levels, it would be the same. We would have a small
Yeah.
corner at Tynecastle in the place with big empty patches of maroon seats around it. So, I'm not, obviously we're all hypocrites when it comes to our own team. So when it comes to Rangers going there, I'm not a fan. I would have liked to have had as big an allocation of and have had as many of our fans there as possible tonight. But it seems to be this kind of petty trend now that's gone about Scottish football. Even I seen we were at Falkirk last month, even they done it,
Mhm.
and I think we only got 700 tickets. So it seems to be, I think the only club in the league that are willing to kind of put money before home and away fans is Livingston, because we get the full three stands when we go there. But yeah, not a fan of it. Obviously, I know that no shock anybody that I'm saying that. I wish we had more fans there tonight. But yeah, and it's not a good advert, especially when it's on the telly. There's big gaps everywhere. Just give the away fans a full stand. I don't know what the big deal is.
It's the exact same as me. I'm struggling with it, and it's really poor from a product point of view, I think, which is the worst one. I just thought it was important to touch on that because I felt for some of the Rangers fans on that one. I really did, mate. As I said, Ross, with live podcasts, we always sometimes get a special guest. And speaking of special guests, we've got Scotty on board. Scotty, welcome. How are you, mate? And did you enjoy tonight's game?
Weirdly, it was similar to I was under come on when I first came in.
Mm-hmm.
When we went away to St Mirren and we won 1-0, I think Kamar Roof scored. And you didn't really feel as if you were going to concede, if that makes any sense. When we did the penalty, I was in a chat and I was like, at and Doug, like, Tav again, Tav this, Tav that, like, because Tav's slide falls onto Conor Barr and make the tackle, etc., etc. But I thought we dug in really, really well tonight. I thought the first 25 minutes, the best we've played all season. And as the games go on, the better that's going to get, if that makes any sense. Like, overall, brilliant performance. Very positive, very Magoma. A lot of the players all over the pitch showed they had an appetite for it, for me, Chris. Showed they were up for it in terms of physical duels, and that's what Danny Rose says in his pressers that he's been talking to them about. There's a lot of analysis stuff. Now, that's all he's really had time for his analysis. He's not had time for stuff on the training pitch, so he's been teaching them effectively. And it's leaving a bunch of kids at uni about how you want to play, but he's basically showed them how to get the basics right. But I just feel as if, I don't want to single out Tav, but I just feel as if Tav's forgot the basics because he's so far advanced on what he's done.
Yeah.
Especially this season under Russell Martin. It was outstanding. It led Faye back. It was good. He really tried to grab things on the park, but I feel as if when the level's been upped, he's been left behind, if that makes any sense. It's a weird one. It's a weird one, but any performance is good for me. It's really good for me. It's 3 points. There's no gaps cut. Well, I think the Hearts draw 2 each.
Hearts drew, so it's down to 11, I think. I can't remember off the top of my head exactly what it is, but maybe 11, I think it might be.
Regardless, I'm looking at Celtic. I'm not looking at anybody else. I'm looking at getting it third, catching up with Atmob, and then we'll kind of go for. I don't think Hearts are going to be a long term anyway. So if we're in Celtic's coattails, then come maybe Christmas, mid-January, we might actually be somewhere if we keep this being a form up.
Yeah. Scotty, one of the things we were saying before you came on there was just around the fight that Rangers put in tonight, and it's something that we've been lacking over the last few games. We spoke about Raskin not having the greatest of games, but one thing Raskin did do is he showed a bit of fight, and he done it 5-10 minutes before the end. There was a bit of a skirmish in the middle, and then after the game as well, there was a few words said here and there. I think Ross and I were saying, take it back 6 weeks, Scotty, that would never have happened. Rangers would have walked off the park, nothing said, nothing done. Tonight they wouldn't have fought on anything at all. But tonight they changed that up. You've seen the fight that was there. You've seen the passion that was after it. Is that the change that Danny Rose brought to the city? Do you think?
It's just good man management. It's having a squad that wants to play for the manager. And see if you look at, I'll take Yusuf Shamiti, for example, right? See for the first 25 minutes, he is exactly what Kevin Thelwell thought he was signing for that amount of money. He was good, he was physical, he laid on an assist for his strike partner, he won everything there. And then after that, when he faded, the team faded because we didn't have that focal point up the pitch to stop things. Hibs changed their shape. It's interesting you speak about what you're saying there, Chris, in terms of like the actual team though. Like I think the manager's just in went, right, how do we strip this back? It's almost as if he's got a knowledge of Scottish football before he's went in.
Yeah.
And he's been able to relay that to the players, and the players have responded via Tav, Suter. Now, Tav and Suter for me, this is an entirely different pod, but Tav's not your Rangers captain, and Suter's definitely not your vice captain, right? They're not vocal enough. But who else is it to pick for just now? Raskin's out of form. I mean, when you're looking at the rest
Barron's
of them,
not playing enough. Yeah,
Barron's not playing enough. You asked me about Conor Barron. It epitomised everything about Scottish football night. He was busy. He was all over the place. Is he going to start on Sunday? No, probably not, because Thilo Asgard is probably going to come back in, so is Mo Diamondi.
Yeah,
because I think the manager's been smart and he's utilised. Right, I need a digger in the middle of the park, and he's went and done it. Whereas I think in the middle of the park on Sunday, you need more of a kind of playmaker type person next to Raskin, which is Diamondi. And then Asgard is, it's whatever Asgard's going to turn up, to be honest with you. Like, he came on tonight, It was physical, it was a focal point for the forward line, but it was only him and Shamiti, so. But he didn't do it well enough for me, if that makes any sense. He should be coming in, taking the knock in the knee, falling over, getting as a free kick high up the park. That didn't quite happen. It was almost as if it was one touch too many.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to see how we actually line up on Sunday.
Aye. Jake, we were talking just before you came on there, Scott, about Sunday, and obviously we think it's going to be a bit of a different Rangers side. We think, just as you said, Barron, as much we'd like to see him in there, I think he drops out for either Diamondi or Asgard coming in maybe. Mikey Moore, we think, would probably drop out for Sunday again for Diamondi or Asgard, one of the two coming into that position as well. I think it'll be different. We were saying that tonight we were very compact, we were very tight. We didn't move too many players up the park at any point. But Sunday has to be different though, Scott. And I think this is going to be really interesting because it's a different game. You know they'll come at you at certain points, but they'll also sit back and they will give you the ball. So he has to do something. Rangers have to do something with it on Sunday. Do you think it's the perfect time for us at the minute to get into this game on Sunday and with everything that's been going on? Or is it again just the same as any old firm? You just never can predict it. What's your thoughts on that one, Scott?
I don't know, to be honest with you, mate, because you can't predict an old firm to begin with. If Brendan Rodgers is still in charge at Celtic, I'm thinking, right, we can predict the slow passing and we can predict, like, I don't know, their left winger, be it, I can't even pronounce their names, but be it whoever the left winger is on that day, waiting on Tierney either underlapping or overlapping, because that's their move, going into the box or outside the box to pass the ball and then whip it back, like that goal against Hearts on Sunday. It's textbook shit. Same doing the right flank. Now, for what I seen in the highlights tonight, it was very much long ball to a flank, long ball into a box, cut back, goal. Is pretty much what happened for 2 or 3 other goals for John Joe Kenny. So if Rangers get a physical presence to deal with that, I don't know. Has Celtic get a physical presence to do that on Sunday? I don't think it's Falkirk, so possibly. It's a typical Mark O'Neill team. It's I'm thinking back to 2000 here. I've still got scar tissue for 2001, 2002.
Yeah.
Obviously, we won a treble in 2003, but at that time, it was very edgy to be a Rangers supporter. Because of the talent they had now. They've got no talent at all, and they've went and scudded Falkirk for nothing tonight. They've clearly got a bit of confidence back and whatever else. So You need to take all that into consideration when it comes to an Old Firm. It's going to be interesting. Danny Roll's shown that he's adaptable. He can win. He's won at home to Kelly and won away to Hibs. I mean, you can't ask for a better start than that. Bran was always going to be wishful thinking kind of stuff, but when you're looking at an Old Firm, God knows. Danny Roll could go 4-5-1, 4-3-3, 4-0-6. Who knows? He's going to watch Celtic for a night and try and judge it fair.
Yeah.
See, to be honest with you, I think that's all we can do because it's a complete guessing game now that he's packed his bags and run away again. Unfortunately.
Absolutely.
Whereas if he'd stayed, I think it's a lot more predictable in terms of what he's going to do because you know he's not going to change. Whereas Martin O'Neill's just a wee bit more direct and different, so you've got to make allowances for that and credit. I've got Celtic. I've got a spine of their team that's turned up for winners for the last 5-6 years. You can't miss that either. So we've also got that hurdle to pass. It's going to be an interesting weekend. I'm not as confident as I was, but I do believe that we can win it if it's done properly.
Absolutely. Ross, just if I can bring you in for a wee minute, mate. Scotty made a really good point there about still having scars over Martin O'Neill's sides from previous, right? And I 100% agree with him. Martin O'Neill's sides have always been a big physical side, especially for that lot when he was there. To match up against that, I'm going to ask you a question about the back line. Do you go back three again to match up against that with the three you had in tonight in terms of your Jigga, Suter, Cornelius? Now, I'll caveat that by saying I'm hearing at the moment Cornelius maybe came off with an injury to his eye socket or concussions sort of thing, so could be doubtful, unfortunately, for Sunday, especially if that's a bad one. But let's go on the assumption it's okay and he's recovering. Do you go with that back three to try and combat what Scotty was saying there around that physicality from Celtic?
I would, and I think if the three centre halves that started tonight are all fit, which all going well there, I think that will be the three. I think the Goma will be the left wing back, and I think Aarons will drop out and Tav will come in and be the right wing back. But in terms of the centre halves, I would go with that three, and that back three have kept a clean sheet for a Rangers team and an away game I think commentator said for the first time in 25 matches or something that we've kept a clean sheet in an away league game. So I wouldn't disrupt that. I wouldn't spoil it. I know their confidence will be up after tonight and they won't be as predictable as a Rangers team would, but I don't think they're great. Like same as both of you were saying there. It's more than winnable if we get the set up right, and that's something that we've got as a positive. We've got a manager that's proved they can adapt and change it up as and when. So hopefully that's a positive as well. So, but yeah, in terms of the back three, I would keep it as a back three, and if Cornelius is fine, I would just would they disrupt that and keep it as is.
What about? I know he only came on for the last 5 minutes or so, but I think it's worth giving him a mention because again, coming into a fixture like tonight, Hibs throwing everything at you, don't know how it's going to react. But Fernandes comes in there tonight again. He took Cornelius' place the last maybe 5 minutes, including stoppage time, 7 minutes when you include that. But again, everything that went through the box, he's heading that away. He's up there and he's the first man. He's winning everything. I know it's 7 minutes, but does that give him confidence, Scotty, do you think, going forward in terms of knowing that he can come in there, he's got a win, and essentially he's helped to contribute to the clean sheet as well?
Aye. I think Emmanuel Fernandes is suited to Scottish football in the right team. If you put him in St Mirren, Motherwell, maybe not Motherwell, they play football in the deck, but Hearts, Hibs, maybe to replace Rocky Bashiri, or Celtic just now, because they've not got that physical presence at the back. I think it's smart to play him. It's smart to get him minutes because he offers you something that none of our centre backs offer, and that's height. Suter has got height. Cornelius has got height, but nobody's as big as Big Fernandez, if that makes any sense. It's almost like playing Shamiti up front. You know, it's like a bit of a rough diamond. So you've got a rough diamond at the back and a rough diamond up front. You would never start the two of them together. But in terms of a home match against St Mirren, I play him. Because if you get a good delivery at a set piece, you know he's going to score. Things like that. He could have a really good goal return. Whereas if you're playing Russell Martin Fitber, it's not good because he's not good with his feet. He's a very reactive defender, Chris. It hits me as like the ball's in the air. His first reactions, excuse me, is to go and head it away. And that's fine. That's what you need to be successful in Scottish football. It would suit football under Big Eck or Barry or a Scottish manager, if that makes any sense. And I think he'll suit Danny Rowe because of that. And I think while Danny Rowe is winning games ugly, I think he'll be polishing, just like Russell Martin would have been. I think he'll be polishing Emmanuel Fernandez's footwork with his foot in the deck as well. Because, I mean, let's be honest, Dan Purdy and Kevin Thelwell have went and signed him on the back of Peterborough against Everton at Goodison Park last season. And it was outstanding. I think they get my match, or it was 2 each or 2-1 or something. They get beaten the last minute. Because there was a lot of upset about Darren Ferguson not putting on Ashley Young's son so that the two of them were in the park at the same time. But Emmanuel Fernandez apparently the best player in the park that night. So there's something there somewhere. And I think if Kevin Thelwell was still at Everton this season, I think it would have been an Everton player, to be honest with you, because I don't think it was a signing on nothing, if that makes any sense. Like, he's got a height, he's got a physicality, he can head a ball. That's all you need for Scottish football. Play him away to Livy, away to St Mirren, away Tynecastle, perfect. 4-4-2, Shankland up against you. Long ball comes in, you think Shankland's going to win it? No. Big Emmanuel's it and knock it over to Magoma or whatever. Like, things like that, play him in the back three, protect them. There's a way to develop them. So I do hope there's a future because it's a big outlay if that makes any sense, mate.
Definitely got it. Gents, I don't want to get too carried away. Tonight's 3 points building on from Sunday, so we move on and obviously we part the league for the next few weeks or next week or so. We've got a big game on Sunday, another huge game after that come Thursday, so let's hope we keep the momentum going and see where we end up. And look, everyone's aboard the Danny Rowe train. We've all got the tune, we've all been humming it and whistling it and we're ahead. So I'm not going to sing it because I would put the viewers off by doing that. But look, if we win on Sunday, I might come in and sing it for you on Sunday. I maybe that's maybe a wee incentive for Rangers to hear me singing on here on Sunday. But no, look, I think we should be looking forward to it. And Scotty, Ross gave us his prediction earlier on for Sunday. I'm going to give my prediction. I think Rangers will sneak it 2-1 after extra time. I think the 1-1 at the end of the 9 minutes, Rangers win it in extra time. Give us your prediction, Scotty, before we finish up for tonight, please, mate.
Just a quick plug, if you're watching over on Twitter, which I know that 953 of you are, then please head on over to my YouTube channel and subscribe. You'll see more content of Danilo's dad on there than what you will anywhere else. Danilo's dad's been plugged on socials everywhere tonight because of the contact at the game, and he sent me a couple of videos on guys off his nut. But my expecting, God, can't I predict this? Under Brendan Rodgers, I'm saying 2-0 Rangers. Under Martin O'Neill, I'm saying 1-0. Very dirty, scrappy, red cards. Like,
yeah.
You remember it only too well, Chris. You know what I'm talking about. You know what we're coming up against on Sundays. They've got a bunch of youth players on that park, but they're going to be behaving like nastily. But we showed tonight we can date it back. So I 1-0 Rangers, and I'm going to go Tav penalty.
Great shout. And look, Scotty, these games make players into them, so that's what hopefully Sunday should bring us. Look, as I said, great plug, Scotty, on the page. Again, thanks to everyone that's been subscribing and viewing and watching and liking and everything that's been going with it. Again, thanks to our sponsors, Bluebells, Puerto del Carmen, Lanzarote. We greatly appreciate the support you've given. Scotty, it was great to see your cameo appearance tonight. Thank you for coming in, mate. And thanks for your wisdom as always. And Ross, thanks for being with me the last hour and 5 minutes. It's been great to have you on, great to speak with you, and hope you enjoyed it, mate.
Oh, so mute there. No, thanks for having me on, mate. I enjoyed it. It's good to go and talk about a win for once.
Absolutely. That's one of the main things, is it's being able to talk about a win has been fantastic, so it's been really, really good. And folks, I hope everyone that's been watching has loved it. I hope you all watched the game, and I hope you all loved the score and obviously how Rangers played. It is a big few days for Rangers coming up. We're starting to get excited again. We're all on the Danny Roll train, which is fantastic, and we'll see obviously what the next few days and weeks bring. But just again, thank you to everyone that's watching, and just a quick reminder to say to you that just remember, every night is the Rangers Journal night. Good night, folks.
Every night is the Rangers Journal night. Every night is the Rangers Journal night.